Hey, so how do you deal with you're playing over a chord progression or any song, and suddenly it's going well, right? You got your minor pentatonic, major pentatonic, you've got your major scale or minor scale if you use that, but then suddenly a chord comes along that just messes it all up, right? Your scale simply doesn't fit the chord within the chord progression. That happens a lot, because you can do all kinds of really cool stuff with a normal chord progression where you have chords sweeping by. You can put major chords in where there used to be a minor chord, and then suddenly your scale doesn't fit. I have a simple way, a simple strategy of dealing with this, and it is as follows. So let's say you have a chord progression that goes 2, 5, 1 at D minor, and then G major, and then C. And then you have that A dominant 7 suddenly. We know we're in the key of C because we figured that out, right? We tried and tested where does the minor pentatonic fit our first position, right? We moved it across the fretboard and found out that it fits here. Okay, so A minor pentatonic / C major pentatonic, same thing. But then suddenly it should be an A minor because that's the chord that fits within the key of C major, or A minor for that matter, same thing. But it's an A dominant 7. It's a major chord. So now your scale doesn't fit. What do you do? Well, it's actually quite simple. You play the chord notes. And since the chord is only there for like a second or two, you have plenty of melodic material to focus on those chord notes. But Claus, I don't know any arpeggios. I don't know where the chord notes are. Yes, you do. You simply say, let's say you're playing, let me just play these chords here. You're playing you have the D minor, then the G major. Everything is great. Then the C major, and then that A dominant 7 there, and you want to go right, and suddenly, oh, then your scale sounds all off. I know it's an A dominant 7, so how do you play that, right? How do you play an A dominant 7? Well, I can play it down here, or just the A, let's say an A triad, A major chord, right? We can play it as an open chord. I can play it in the 5th fret as an E shape, right? As a bar chord, right? And I can play it up here again, right? In the 12th fret as I'm playing it down here, also as a bar chord. But so I actually know an arpeggio down here. I also know an arpeggio of A major in the 5th fret. I'm just playing the chord notes. I'm just playing the notes from the chord. I'm not adding anything. I'm just playing them separately. So if I look at my A minor pentatonic and then I superimpose that, right? Then I have my arpeggio. So now I can just practice before I put on the chord progression. Right? And then that's the note from the A major chord. Right? Right? So now I have a tool to work with. And it's a gift almost, right? Let's say I'm in the 4th position of the same minor pentatonic, the A minor pentatonic, up here in the 12th fret. And I can also play the A chord there with a chord, right? So I know I can play the notes separately, so I can just practice going. Right? So let me just switch on the chord progression again here. C, and here we go. Fourth position. So it becomes really fun, and the discipline here is, of course, to let's see if I can just a new looper here. The discipline, of course, then becomes: can you hear when the chord is there? Can you feel when the chord is there? And then suddenly you're playing up against the chords instead of just playing up against the period where you just go, okay, we've got a bunch of chords in the background, but when is that A major chord actually happening? And that's a key skill that we need to develop, which we will develop if you don't have it already in the new course Audacious. And I'll give you tons of tricks like this for any challenge that you might find, right? We didn't learn anything new here when it comes to skills. We just said, okay, we can play the chord already, so let's just play or mark out that chord over the scale. So now we can target any chord that is a deviation from the key. Anytime your scale doesn't fit, you can go, oh, we got a B flat major. Okay, B flat. Can I play a B? Yeah, I can play it down here. I can play it up here, and I can. So can I play the A minor pen in close vicinity to that, right? And can I then go into these chord notes? But once you have all these tricks, then you can suddenly make something really complex happen in a very simple way. And that makes you confident. That gives you certainty. I can handle anything. Just throw it at me and I'll deal with it without having, all kinds of complex scales and arpeggios in your skills. But once you have that certainty, once you can have that happen, then suddenly you become hungry for more, because what can I do else now? What other tools can we use over this? What is really going on? But as long as it's like, oh, I'm afraid of chord progressions that I don't know, I'm afraid to be in that situation, then it's all fear-based, and then it's not really fun to learn. So I'll see you in the next video tomorrow. For now, really take these 4 chords and take your looper pedal, because I assume you have one, because you must have one, right? And then play the D minor, and then the G major, and then the C, and then the A major, not the minor, or maybe the A dominant 7, right? A7. And then use the A minor arpeggio or A minor pentatonic over those 4 chords, and then once that comes in, you focus on those notes, right? Right? Or you do it up here. Right? Make that an exercise and see how great it is to hit those notes at the right time. And then I hope to see you in the next video.